Whether you're switching from paper notes to e-ink or just prefer taking notes with only one color of pen, I'll be drawing on my experience as a professional graphic designer to give you easy to apply concepts for making your notes visually better, even in black and white. I'll also be sharing some e-ink specific tips towards the end of the video. The concepts I'll be talking about fall under the broad umbrella of the idea of visual hierarchy. Very briefly, that's making some parts of a page of content look more or less important to help guide the eye and make information easier to understand. When nothing is emphasized, or when everything is, it can be really confusing or just not easy to read. Of course, one way to emphasize content is using color to highlight certain elements. But don't worry, there are lots of other ways to improve visual hierarchy that work even in grayscale. Since you're watching this video, which has text written in the Roman alphabet, there are good chances that you read text in a language that is read from left to right and from the top of the page down. So if you scan a page, you are also likely to have the tendency to do so in a sort of F pattern, going from left to right and then working your way down that way. Or very similarly in a kind of Z pattern going across the page. We can use this knowledge of our tendencies to make how we structure our notes better. We know that we look at the upper left first, and actually this whole top area, so we can put important information like the topic or date of the notes that we're taking in the upper left, or just keep important information on this left side in general. And since we know we look at this lower right area last, we can put footnote type information here, things we might not need to see first, or more generally, keep less important information on this side of the page. It's not just important where something is on a page, but where it is in relation to other elements. So we have the ideas of proximity and space. Things which are closer together will read as more related to each other, and putting space around something helps to emphasize it. For example, this list of ingredients looks kind of random and it might take a bit of time to read through. But if we group the related items together, also making the space more clear around them, it's pretty clear that these belong together because I'm planning on making a salad and then making some tiramisu for dessert. So using these concepts to group information together and also break things up into smaller chunks makes them easier to digest, if you'll forgive the pun. Something that is also helpful is to be boring. So when you use certain styles or ways of writing your text consistently, it lets us more quickly scan our notes and easily see items that are the same level or same type of information. For instance, here are some notes on the concepts that we've covered so far. If we go in and format the titles of the different sections by highlighting them, we know even from a very quick scan that these are names of these subsections and can find them right away because they're formatted the same way. And by putting these bullets in front of the examples, we can also quickly find all the examples used in this set of notes right away. This next concept can actually make this specific page of notes even better. We can use the margins here on the left to show the relationships between the pieces of information. If we stagger the bullets like this, you can see information of the same type lined up. So not only do we know which information is on the same level, it shows us that this information is a sub-bullet of the previous one. Even with the actual dots deleted, you can tell that these examples are a subtopic of the text above. The highlighting we did earlier is actually another great example of the use of tone and contrast. Even if we're not using color and we're only using grayscale, we can use tone to highlight certain areas of the page. If I have information even in this part of the page, which as we covered, we don't really look at as much, I can give it a background color to emphasize it a bit. And by writing in a shade of gray instead of in black, the lessened contrast makes this text look less important than the text which is written in black ink. That's a nice way of including information in a way that it's actually less emphasized than the rest of the text. If you're watching this because you're switching from paper notes, e-ink specifically has a few advantages that you should keep in mind. The first is of course that you can revise your notes after the fact, so you can just jot down your notes and then go back and improve them using the concepts that we discussed today, even if you don't want to think about it in the moment. Using templates, you can kind of automate some of the things that we discussed. So my meeting page template has a highlighted gray area and the date field here in the upper part of the page, where I know I'm going to see it first when I open a note. And of course, since you can have basically as many pages as you want, you can chunk information not just into separate parts of a page, but into different pages. Depending on your device, you may also have various ways to flag or sort your information, so I encourage you to get to know the different note-taking features available to you to make your notes even better. If you want to know more about the specific device that I used today, here's a long-term review on it after using it for a full year of note-taking. Thanks for watching.